as the title of the stream suggests, and I'm actually going to triple check that the title of the stream is right. One more time. Yes. Right. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon game that seemingly we've all been waiting for. I played it. I got it. I played it. I beat it yesterday on the plane. I haven't touched it today, even though I caught a shiny Togepi yesterday on the plane. And then I immediately we were like descending, so I turned it off, and I have not touched it since. So I have no idea how cool the Togepi is. But anyway, beyond the Togepi, we're gonna talk about this game today because I got a lot to say, and then I'm gonna try starting another playthrough with some mods, because some of the mods are out and some of them are okay. There's not a ton of great ones yet, but I got one funny one and some other visually and more impressive ones. I'm not used to the sound of my voice anymore. I used to be able to stream and be like, oh yeah, that's fine, whatever, I'm talking to it. Like 2 earbuds in, I sound like a, how do I sound? Am I sounding okay? I thought I sounded like a lunatic for a second. Oh, ooh, deep breaths. It's absolutely gaming time. Yeah, so we're gonna review the game and then we're gonna play the game. And I have lots to talk about, and I'm also kind of stalling because I want more people to show up. And I'm also going to is my Christian room? Is that not all the way on the right? There we go. I'm recording the stream. I might turn this into a YouTube video. I had another YouTube video idea, another Pokemon related YouTube video. I started writing it I have hair in my eye. I started writing it on my vacation. And then I got a little bit in and I was like, could maybe turn this into a YouTube video? Is anyone gonna watch it? I don't know. It was one of those big idea YouTube videos, like the Pokemon World Philosophy one, but I got like 60 views. Actually, let's check how many views that has. I have not looked at the Swift Street YouTube channel in a hot minute. I was obsessively looking at it like every time I posted a video, and like days and days and days and days after that. Oh, I got a comment on the 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, I got a comment on the 1 hour of silence interrupted by link noises. Amazing, changed my life, truly inspiring. By the Game Player 07. I'm gonna get that at heart. And I have 60 views now. Hold on, let's check. That amuses me. Oh, Cup got mad at me. Also, you need use. Yeah, by the way. Oh man. Crap. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, hold on. I was checking. I have not checked the YouTube views in a hot minute. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, I posted that Minecraft YouTube short and it did awful, and I'm like, what? Why? I don't understand. I don't understand. The Back for Blood videos almost got 500 video. The YouTube short, the Pokemon audio one that I spent hours on, that's 52. Any number thing? What is this? Some sort of Swift Street? This is a kind of sort of Swift Street. Yes, it's exactly right. Oh, the Charlie the Unicorn video has 2,000 views now. Oh, okay. Makes me kind of happy. A little bit. Makes me a tad bit happy.
For subscribing.
Oh, and you can't just keep resubscribing and then saying piss, but thank you for the 11 months. Congratulations. You're close to the 12-month one. The 12-month one, we got the new, the old Pokeball thing that doesn't even show up for you anyway. Because you have the Founder's Badge and Hype Train and everything else. It would be cool if I could see it, exactly. Yeah, YouTube videos. Yeah, so I don't know, hold on, wait, how much does the Pokemon video have? How much does the Pokemon video have? 90. I spent like 50 hours on that video, and it has 90 views. So yeah, that's why I'm not inclined to make another really, really long video. Anyway, that aside, we are going to jump right into... Okay, so... review. I was thinking like just reviewing the game on stream would be shit. So what I did, here, I'll show you what I did. I'll show you. Is this the right thing? This is the right thing. Bam. I made a tier list that's going to be the review. I'm going to put things in. We got perfect, great, good, fun, bad, awful, broken. fun is in the middle because fun is neither a good nor bad thing. It is just fun. I'm gonna shower. Okay, enjoy your shower, Owen. Keep me on. Keep me on. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little. It's gonna be a hot tier list, except I'm going to put things in and talk about the things and why I put them there, as tier lists tend to go. I have some notes right here, and that's how we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna do this. I don't know anything. Am I too busy to do things? I don't know. I really like stream. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so first off, we got the tutorial. So the tutorial of the game. Honestly, it's bad. Not bad or awful. I want to say it's bad because I'm not gonna put it in awful just because there is a lot to explain in how this game works, and I think it does a pretty good job of telling me what to do. It's just everything else sucks. The tutorial is slow. They kind of baby you, and if it was short, if it was like half as long, I would be like, it's pretty good. But it's just too long. Pisses me off. What is up, gamer? Hello, Mara. We are reviewing Pokemon Legends Arceus today, as the title suggests. I got a little bit of a tier list thing going on. We're going to tier the different parts of the game. We just started the tutorial. The tutorial was bad. By the way, I have the game right here. The tutorial is bad, and I already explained why. It was too long and too just fucking just awful. No, I mean it's bad. It's not awful. Okay, the controls of the game. I'm gonna say it controls good. So there's one aspect of the game that I think it controls not awesome, but that'll be another part. But otherwise, like catching Pokemon, running around, climbing for the most part, that feels pretty good. It doesn't handle like a dream. Like I think Breath of the Wild, like controlling Link feels really, really good. But Pokemon go brr, yeah. We're just gonna throw me off. Yeah, it controls good. It's fine. Oh, and at the end of this, I got rate the game right here, and I'm gonna give like I'll say it's either fun or good or great or bad or whatever. I honestly, I don't know how I would rate the game yet. I put all the things that I wrote down and I'm thinking of, and we'll just kind of see where it lands, and then I'll be like, I like this game apparently. Wait, why did I put rate? Wait, why is rate the game in here twice? Hold on, is there multiple? Hold up. How many? Wait, why is rate the game here twice? How did this happen? Why is this here twice? Yeah, Pokemon. Wait, yeah. Okay, hold up. I guess I have to edit this real quick. I could have sworn everything was fine. One second. Select. Why is this in here twice? Okay, hold up. Is it? I can do the things. Did it just did it add them twice? Because when I was putting them in, it was like, it wanted them all in one folder. But then it was like, no. You can't do that. It has to be an all-in-one folder. Upload images. I've uploaded the images. Can I like... Oh my god, why is this happening to me? If I do that, if I submit... I just doubled them all again. This is terrible. This is not what I want. This is not what I want at all. Hold on, edit. Can I delete all of can I get rid of all of the current images? Is that possible? It seems not possible. Do I have to do this again? Hold on, maybe I can... You're kidding me, right? Kidding. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Every stream. It's not a Swift Street stream if something stupid doesn't go wrong. Okay, hold on. Well, okay, I have all of the images. That's the most important thing. We'll just do it again. I'm just gonna make it again. I didn't delete. Okay, hold on. Make my own template. I gotta do the fucking shit again. Perfect. Great. Good. Fun. Bad. Awful. Broken. And then choose images. And all of these. Bam. And Legends review. I don't care if people see this. I'll fix it off stream. Like, I'll make it pretty again. Okay. It's everything, right? Right. Okay, hold on. Let me just put... We did tutorial and controls. Tutorial was bad. Controls were good. Okay, cool. We're back. Do I have anything to say about... No. Okay. So the cutscenes. So, here's where I'm a little conflicted. And also, I do tier lists where if I put something in front or behind that is indicative of what's better or worse on that category. So, I think this game had 3 cutscenes. I think. That's all I could remember. There was a cutscene in the middle of the game, and I think there were 2 at the end. And that's all I remember, because this game is littered, absolutely fucking littered, with these Game Freak style cut to black, play a sound effect cutscene. There's so many. It's so distracting. It's so irritating. When that first cutscene happened, like in the middle of the game, I was like, oh my god, they could do it. They could animate things. Oh my god, I lost my hat. It was crazy. So, and they were good. All 3 of them I liked a lot. The ending ones were kind of sort of copy and paste from Diamond and Pearl, stylistically wise. Oh, and I guess there was the cutscene in the beginning of the game too. So there's 4 cutscenes. There's like 4. And I hated the one in the beginning. The cutscenes were bad. They were better than the yeah, because the animation in them was really good. The ones we got to see, there was so, I cannot stress you, everything was cut to black. It was just the opposite of what you're supposed to do in storytelling, which is show, don't tell. They would do neither. They would not show me, and they would not tell me what was happening. They would just cut to black, and then there would be the outcut. It's like King Crimson the cutscenes. They cut out the middle, and we just see the result. It was like, okay, cool, awesome. I love video games. Awful, terrible. It was so, like, honestly, I would have loved this game so much more if they just stopped. They didn't, like, you could just, like... I'm gonna breathe. It was bad. End of the story. The items. So the items, again, what I mean by the items is the new items, the incorporated items. How did they play? And I'm a little torn. I feel like I should have made 2 separate categories for this, because the consumable items, I thought a lot of them were very, very, very good. I had a problem with key items, though. Key items, I had a big problem. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put it in good, but it'll probably be the bottom of good, if I'm correct. So here's my problem. Here's what I'll go over. The evolution items in the game were very, very accessible. They were pretty cheap. There was like a special other currency in the game that you can get the evolution items for. That was pretty easy to get. And on top of that, there was these events that happened in the game called distortion whatevers, and those items would just spawn, and I'd get them a lot. I think I only ever bought the evolution items maybe like twice, and if I honestly waited like an hour, I had them again immediately. So those were good. I really liked all of the items you found around that were crafting, and I'll go over that in the crafting. Everything, I feel like everything got used. Everything got used, and I really liked that. But here's my big problem. There were the 2 main things in your key items inventory that would take up the most space. Not that space mattered in your key items inventory. Was the plates and these poems. Let's go over the plates. Actually, no, let's go over the poems first because it's quicker. You would dig up these poems randomly. There was 18 of them. You would dig them up randomly, and it would be a little poem. And then they would just sit there. Each individual poem, all 18 of them would just sit there in your key items inventory. They wouldn't combine so you can like read them all in order. They would just sit there, being annoying and useless. They were useless. It was flavor text. It was inventory flavor text. Imagine if every book in Skyrim, an inventory slot was a page, not the whole book. That's what it was like. It was so... I was just like, why don't these combine? Why are they all there? Why? There's so much why. And another thing, here's a cool mechanic that I thought was implemented that wasn't at all. It was just me hoping for the best. throughout the game, you got the plates, like the Arceus plates, like the insect plate, fairy plate, yada yada yada. You would get them throughout the story beats of the game. Not all of them, but some of them. And when you hovered over them, it would give you the description and like the engraving in it. And I don't know why I thought this. When I read the description of the item, I was like, oh, it's like a power-up. Because the first one you get is like the insect, and I didn't have a bug type on my team yet. So when I like hovered over it and it said all of them were not capable of like using the bug plate, I was like, oh, maybe if when you get the plates, it like powers up your bug type Pokemon or your bug type moves. You know, so it's like you can like slowly like, you know, pick what Pokemon, like a little bit of buff. You know, like the plates only give you a 1.1 times buff to like those moves associated with the plate. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I was just wrong. I just assumed that they're all still for Arceus. They just sit there and be useless. Like the plates in other Pokemon games were just items you get, but now they're sitting in your key items inventory, being useless. It's part of the post game. I haven't completed most of the post game yet, but they're just useless. They serve no purpose. There's not like a marker to see like how far you in the game, because when you beat the game, you don't automatically have them all. You have like half of them. The key item slot was just so fucking useless. And the only useful thing in your key item slots was your personal crafting bench. And I was so annoyed because I couldn't like map that to a button. So every time I wanted to use like the only key item that had a use, I would have to go in there, go to my items, switch to the key item, and use that one thing, the only useful key item. I'm just, you can like favorite it, but like who gives a shit about favoring a key item? There's like, you look at it and there's like, literally it's just the crafting thing, the flute they give you, the plates and the poems, and like one other story thing, then it goes away eventually. That's it. I don't need to favorite them. They're visually distinct from each other, and there's only like 3 types of things. I want to use the one useful key item. And then we're like, no, we just don't care. We just kind of threw them in there, and that really annoyed the crap out of me. So that's what's key. Honestly, if those things I laid out happens, they would be imperfect. I thought the items would have been perfect, but they were not. They brought back here are 2 things they brought back item-wise that I really like. They brought back the smaller candies from Sword and Shield, but instead of giving you a literal shit ton of them, you would get like 1, maybe 2 from beating or capturing an alpha Pokemon. And you would get like the new Eevee thing, which I'll go over. I was never loaded with candy. I would get one, I would use one, and they wouldn't level up my Pokemon, but it's like, hey, anything else. Those were great. They brought back the mints. I did not think the mints were in the game, but eventually you like unlock them and you can like farm them. And I mean that not like farm them like an item, like literally like someone has to farm them. And I was almost pretty mad about that, but I'm glad the mints were a good addition, and I'm glad they stayed there. Okay, let's move on. The move pool. I had a big fucking problem with the move pool. I'm gonna put the move pool. I'm torn. You know what? Actually, hold on. Can I add another? Can I add a row? Add a row below. You know what? This one's gonna be black. Wait, no. There, this one. We're gonna make a new one. We're making a new one. This one's called Horn. Now mixed. Mixed. And this row will be gray, whatever. You know what? I'm gonna put the items in mixed, and I'm gonna put the cutscenes. No, cutscenes are still in bad. Move pool is going in mixed too. Move pool, but it's worse than items. So here's what I want to say. The moves in this game, it was like the size of the move pools for the Pokemon were like Gen 3 size. You know how like they've been like the move pools of Pokemon have been like going up and up and up and up every generation? This one was like Gen 3 size. Not Gen 2. Gen 2 was bad. Gen 3 size. My problem lies with they were thinking about it. They weren't thinking about it super hard. So here's what I mean by that. I think a lot of the Pokemon's level up moves were pretty accurate. I thought some Pokemon, they actually cut a lot of moves. Hold on, is it just a thing that says moves? Yeah, you know, I'm gonna consider it move pool and moves. They cut a lot of moves. Like Earthquake's not in this game. Fucking but the moon, the Moonblast was not. Earthquake wasn't. Earthquake was like funnily not in this game. It was kind of weird. I was getting like every other ground type move besides Earthquake. I had Pokemon with Bulldoze, high horsepower. Torterra had like a new move in the game that was like an it was like a physical Earthquake attack. There was just no Earthquake, and I'm not saying it's bad because there was no Earthquake. My problem is that there were some Pokemon that like moves that like felt core to them that they cut and they included the Pokemon, and it just felt really wrong. Like, there was no Leaf Storm either. Torterra didn't have Leaf Storm or Earthquake, and my Torterra had like a Leaf Blade and that one new ground type move, and like Stone Edge and Sleep Powder. I don't remember. That was just really weird. Specifically, what bugged me the most was that my Umbreon could not learn Crunch, and that means its only physical Dark type move was Bite. And Dark Pulse was special. So like I had a physical attacking Umbreon for most of the game, and then I learned it can't learn Crunch. So I was like, well, Bite's too weak, so I gave it Dark Pulse, but like its physical, its special attack's like 100 lower than its attack, so like I don't know what I'm doing. It's shit like that. But on top of that, we kind of had like the Sword and Shield problem where there were too many tutor moves. Or TM moves. The TM TR pool was too big in Sword and Shield, but I'm lumping that into the tutor moves because there was a very accessible tutor in the game, but there was just so much shit, and they just so much Pokemon can just learn so much shit. Some of it good, some of it bad, like every tutor thing. But like, how do I put it? My Tentacruel shouldn't be able to learn Ice Beam and Icy Wind the same rate. And I don't need Giga Impact and Hyper Beam on every single Pokemon. I think that was like, it was like one of that shit. And it was just so, also Double Edge was on like every single Pokemon. Here's like the wacky thing. It's like when I was fighting like wild Pokemon, Alpha or not, they always had a move that I didn't expect. But not in like oh, I forgot they had that move. Like, oh, I forgot Skunk Tanks learn Flamethrower. Like that's been a thing forever. It's like, oh, the Tentacruel I'm fighting has Ice Beam. So like, you know, okay, I guess my grass Pokemon, well, I mean, we shouldn't use that. It would have, okay, a better example. Better example coming to mind, absolutely. Oh yeah, like, an Empoleon had like Shadow Claw, and I'm like, I don't normally learn that. How the fuck am I supposed to expect Shadow Claw coming out of nowhere? It's just like moves you wouldn't expect, and like that's cool to find on a wild Pokemon, but like fighting them like that, like, catching them is cool, but finding them like that, it's so fucking annoying. Like, how different like the tutor moves are from like the base Pokemon. You know, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, better example. I can't give you like the specifics, but like it's kind of just the shit where it's like I would run an Alpha Pokemon, and I'd be like, cool, I have the type advantage, and then they would just throw out a move I couldn't have expected in 1,000 years. And again, I'm not talking about like Flamethrower on Skuntic or like Giga Drain on a Crobat. It's like just like random fucking like Shadow Ball, Psychic, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, fucking like random shit that you wouldn't expect one Pokemon to have that would do, and just fucks you up. And as I'll talk about when I go over, where would I talk about this? What am I trying to say? You know, I'll go over in meta. I'll go over in the meta. The Pokemon stats are fucking weird. Okay, so let's move beyond Move Pool, because I've talked about that. It's mixed. Okay, other features. So this would be, I think the other features were very, very good. Here we go. So my other features, I'm thinking what I was wanting to talk about were like the distortion stuff, like the actually, this game actually has a lack of other features. I'm putting it in mixed. I take it that. I'm putting it in mixed. So, here's some problem. There's no... You can't battle your friends. There's no... I feel like it should be easier. It would be a shorter list to just put like what the other features are. There's like taking pictures of your Pokemon, which is a Game Freak design that is it's just completely out of like, you know how like you can like most modern games now there's like a picture mode that you can go into and it's like this very easy to use UI to take a picture and angle your character. Yeah, Pokemon is still stuck in fucking Heart Gold and Soul Silver when you're taking pictures of your fucking Pokemon and it's awkward and boring. Where it's like you have to go through like click down menus to like select different shit and like, oh, go to the next page. It doesn't keep scrolling because that's too hard to make a menu that keeps scrolling. You have to like have a menu to, and by menu I mean like it's like a layer. You know, like the Pokemon menus are super small. Go in to change your pose and then go in to change your Pokemon pose. Oh, you can't move them on an X and Y axis, so they're just stuck in one spot. I can't even move the camera. The camera was fixed. That was super annoying. I wanted to take a picture of my normal-sized Crobat, not even an alpha Crobat, my normal-sized Crobat. But he was flying. Half of his body was out of the fucking range of the camera. And I can't move him. I can't shrink him. He's just stuck up there. I can get him to like pretend like he's sleeping, so he's like kind of in frame and he's not moving. That's it. I could just like lock them in animations. And then they're just locked. It's just awful. The distortions I thought were pretty cool. What else? What else would I even consider other features? This game has like no other stuff to do. It's all like other than even like the distortion. It's like barely a feature. It's just something that happens. There's like nothing else to do but play the game. Just kind of annoying. There's not even fishing in this game. There's not even fishing. You're telling me none of these motherfuckers made a fishing rod? Kirby can fish now. And they weren't fishing back in Hisui? Bad. It's going in bad. Other features, lack of other features. In fact, awful. Awful. There's no other features. There's nothing. I take it back. I was just thinking like, oh, I like this distortion world. Not the distortion world, the distortion time thing, whatever. But honestly, no, it's crap. Crap. Okay. Progression. Progression in the game, I thought was great. I didn't actually, you know, I feel like I almost can't. I feel like I played the game not wrong, but not entirely as intended. What I mean is, I'll tell you how. I played the game in a similar manner of when I played Sword and Shield. Because when Sword and Shield came out, a feature was that you can access your boxes whenever you wanted. And I thought like, okay, that's cool. So I'm going to use a lot of different Pokemon so I can. And all of those Pokemon ended up being overpowered. In this game, I did a similar thing. You can't access your boxes whenever you want, but like enough. Like you can kind of just fly and teleport immediately to where they are and then jump back into the action. So I had around 15 Pokemon I had in rotation. No, 20. Like 20, because 15 in the box, like 6 in the party. I had like 20 Pokemon in rotation for me playing the game. At the end of the game, they all ended up around level 60. High 50s, if not. And most of their EVs were pretty spread out. So, like, I had a very medium time playing the game, difficulty-wise. There's not a ton of battles in this game, unfortunately, but some of the wild battles will fuck you up. So, Pokemon-wise, I feel like my Pokemon could have been very overpowered. Like, if I stuck with a team of 6, I couldn't imagine this game being very difficult. I also had, my type distribution was kind of shit. I had a lot of flying types on my team, like unintentionally. I had a lot. My team was very weak to ice and electric at most times. That's actually another thing that, you know, that gets almost a little bit benefit to the move pool. You know how in like Pokemon, like you fight, like I'm trying to think like just Diamond and Pearl on my mindset because of the music. Like you see the trainer who's got a bird cage, and he's like, he has flying Pokemon. You see the floral girl and she has grass Pokemon. You fight Crasher Wake and he has water Pokemon. Like everything's so type oriented for trainers And then like you get to the Elite Four, kind of, and they have like a little bit more diverse teams, like move-wise. It's like, cool, finally. Your rival, for instance. In this game, since there's so little trainer battles, and none of the trainers have like themed teams, like type-wise, you're running into wild Pokemon of a lot of different types. And that's really, it feels really good with, I keep touching my face. I don't want to keep touching my face, but like I keep looking at it and I keep my hair. Here, hair goes over here, hat here. I still feel hair in my face. This, this is a side thing from the progression, but I really like the type distribution of the game. I thought there was a lot of different shit going on, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But the progression of the game. So, what I was trying to frame how I played the game, I thought it was pretty good. I spent a lot of time in the fields. Now, I think the first 3 days I had the game, I was like, I had done the Cleavor part of the story, and then I had not progressed past that. I was like running around the Obsidian Fields and the area after that for hours, like 20 hours maybe, just because it's just you felt slow but like lively, like you can walk around and like run to different areas. I just felt like there was always enough corner with like the day and night cycle, like I could see something new, so I just kept doing that for a very long time. So apparently my star rating was always very high. I kind of picked on the context clues that if your star rating was low, you couldn't do the next story progression, like you couldn't go to the next area. But that was never a problem for me. So I think everyone kind of honestly plays the game, and I don't want to generalize, but I feel like everyone plays the game with like a eyes wide open, like, oh, let me go do exploring shit. Like I couldn't imagine like you being like too overpowered, because like even when you're exploring, it almost feels like grinding. Not feels like grinding, but like ends up to be like grinding. Shit can still get hard. There's always shit around the corner, and the Pokemon are high enough levels, and you can keep going. Honestly, it's a Pokemon game. If you keep fighting Pokemon, you're eventually going to get really strong. Like, it's what you want to do, and I still felt like, even though I caught a lot of Pokemon, I used a lot of Pokemon, and the game still felt like the difficulty was the same. Which, a Pokemon game without a difficulty spike... Okay. I do want to say this. Some of the trainer battles in the game, I thought some were easy, some were hard. I felt like the easiest ones were like when my team was like a little bit more serious towards the end. Like the end battles were not an issue for me. That's just me. And I'm great at Pokemon. If we drop all this down a level, people who aren't good at Pokemon, I still think the progression is great. Okay. Moving on. We'll move the rate of the game down here. Graphics. Oh. The graphics in this game are dog shit. Literally, high-res Gale of Darkness looks better than this shit. It is. Oh, it's an ugly game. I'll be honest. For the first 20 hours of the game, I was having such a good time I didn't notice. But the areas of the game got progressively less interesting, and not less interesting to me, just like they became more open fieldy kind of shit, and it just got like there was less stuff to see almost. And the textures are so bad. The trees are so bad. The whole environment looks like garbage. And some of the fucking... I'll talk about it when Maps comes up. But, like, it was just ugly. It was just so ugly. I'm so focused on the Pokemon, you can ignore it for a very, very long time. It was just so ugly. The environment was so fucking disgusting. It was embarrassing. The artists for this should be ashamed of themselves that they let a game look like... Sword and Shield might look a little bit better. I didn't really compare it. Hold up. Sword... Pokemon... I can't type. Sword... Environments. I can spell. Wow, none of the environments showed up when I typed environments. Okay, hold on, here's a picture. It's close. I think, I would think I'm being more critical on Arceus just because it's like you're closer to your character. You're not like the camera's not wide out like that. They're like, I would say the arenas, like this floor is about exactly what every texture was like in Legends Arceus. It was bad. It was pretty bad. I like the backgrounds here, like on the Switch they look bad, but like generally they're okay. There's nothing like it. The game looked like shit. The game looked like fucking garbage. Like this looks okay. Nothing. I never really thought like. So it was honestly a little bit better than I thought. It was a little bit better than I thought because like when the trailers were coming out, I was super critical on the graphics because they all looked like shit, and it did look. It ended up looking like a lot like that. But in the combination of you're focused on the Pokemon, and that when you're in a kind of enclosed area, and I don't mean like in a room, I mean like actually the interiors of the the interiors. A lot of the interiors looked pretty good. Like inside of houses, inside of buildings, inside of a few caves, those looked not bad. Those looked fine. They looked, I mean, like, I thought they were poorly designed, and I thought they were generic. Pokemon House, but they didn't look bad. But like, you know, okay, so like you're like in the area you would like just start out in when you like go to a map, it doesn't look too bad. Like when when you're kind of surrounded by some hills and shit, and everything's like loaded in what needs to be loaded in, it's not so tolerable. It's so tolerable. But when you get out there and you're running, and if you're going fast, God fucking forbid you're going fast, or you're tall and high in the air, shit just doesn't load. It looks like fucking hot garbage. It looks like if you randomly generated like a terrain in Blender and you haven't like exported it yet, you haven't compiled it. That's how the whole game looked. So ugly. Like, I haven't touched Sword and Shield in a hot minute, but like, it was bad. But like, some of the set pieces in Sword and Shield weren't though. You know, like a lot, like some of the big towns, although they were vacant as hell, like buildings looked good, like the streets were fine. I never got that vibe from this game. It just always looked like garbage. Which I was dead right on, by the way. I told everyone the graphics were gonna look like shit because that's what the best they were putting in the trailer. There wasn't gonna be much better than that. And I was right. And I wish I wasn't. I always wish I'm not right, because when I'm not right, that means Jenny or Brian's right. And when Jenny or Brian right, everyone's happier. I do not bring in the good news. Good news! Yeah, okay. Here, I want to talk about the maps. The maps were bad. I'll put it above the... Put it right there. The maps were bad. So, this goes in line with the tone, and I'm just going to put the tone next to maps. I'm going to go back to back. Here is the biggest problem with the Pokemon, really, is that you have Sinnoh. You have Sinnoh in this open world landscape. Pokemon have been running wild for centuries, and people have just got there. People haven't been here for that long. Like the Galaxy team just got there. The clans, I think, only go back as far as like 3 generations, and they barely touch the land. Just like, Pokemon run this, right? I wouldn't fucking know, because there is like, if Pokemon didn't spawn, I would have no idea animals live here. No fucking clue. No clue. Because there's no evidence that Pokemon live here, other than the fact that they spawn. There's nothing. It's kind of like how it's like they literally. It's almost as if like they took the 2D Pokemon games, where it's just like the fucking tiles and shit, and like Pokemon spawn in the grass, and they just ran with that in a 3D environment. In New Pokemon Snap, the first level, it opens up on this park that the research team there has been going into a lot, because it's the nicest and easiest place to get to. And even there, you can see where the Pokemon, like, they're not just around, they're living their fucking lives. The Bouffalant are in the open field, and I mean, obviously open field, it's easy to do, but like, they're grazing. They didn't just spawn and are just looking around like, oh, I don't know what to do. Grazing. The Vivillon are in trees and on flowers, doing their butterfly, flying through the air in a path. I mean, obviously the path, like they're living their life. The Bidoof are making dams and doing fucking beaver shit. I think there was maybe kind of one Bidoof dam in the game. I'm trying to remember. I remember there was like some bundles of sticks in one part of the game where the Bidoof spawn, but like that kind of just looked like a backup of sticks. Like the Bidoof weren't like going in and out of there. They weren't like, I think they just spawned on the beach where the sticks were. So fucking bad. I couldn't believe how there was like no, like even in like there were no forests in this game. The game tried to pretend like there were forests sometimes. Like there would be a bunch of trees, they would do like the shadow effect where it's like, ooh, like the sun, there's so many trees you can barely see the sun, but like you can count, there's like 20 trees around you. You can count. Like Skyrim has more trees. Like I don't want to say Skyrim is, I don't want to go back to Skyrim, but like, you know how like Skyrim has forests, but like you can still like see all the trees, and that's not how forests are. Like you go in a forest and there's too many trees to count. So there was nothing. Like you like in like a new snap, like a Pokemon would disappear into the brush, and it would be brush. You couldn't see past it. There was nothing there. You could try, but you can't. There's no brush in this game. There's no forests where the Pokemon. There's just fields with grass and sometimes trees and sometimes cliffs and sometimes water, where they would run in and out of and just disappear and just be like, oh, they're gone. And it just crushed me how the tone and the environment of the game did not supplement each other. The tone is like Pokemon everywhere. But the environment, the map, they're like, yeah, the boys all spawn on the beach next to the Beaters, and the Shanks are just running around because why not? The Geodudes are by rocks because Geodudes are rocks, and everyone knows Geodudes like rocks. Like, it was insane. It was insane. It was fucking hard. You know what? Wait, hold on. Where did I put it? Where did I put map? No, they're awful. You know what? They don't work. You know what? Map. I almost want to like put it like spawns. Or works. I'm gonna put it there. Holy crap. Post game? I don't know. I know what you do in the post game. I haven't actually done it yet. I'm mixed. It's just not. Because of the lack of features, it just doesn't feel like, okay, I'm just gonna play it and like maybe complete the Pokedex, maybe. But like, I don't really know. Well, I'm not talking about the post game. Okay, EVs and IVs. Moving on. We're moving quick. We barely. How long have we? Almost an hour. I haven't really. We may be halfway done. Okay. Here we go. EVs and IVs. So there were no IVs in this game, which I honestly think, honest opinion, a little relieved. I was a little relieved there were no IVs because there's no breeding in this game, which at some points I was like, oh, I caught a fully evolved Pokemon. I'll go breed it to get the. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Oops. But that was fine. Maybe. Who knows? But no IVs in the game? I was pretty satisfied. I was like, I don't have to think about that. I don't have to worry about that. The only thing you really have to worry about are natures. Because the EVs are handled manually. You don't get EVs for beating wild Pokemon, catching or fighting other Pokemon that were like assigned to that Pokemon. You get EVs, you catch them, they're randomly assigned. The stronger the Pokemon, the more they have. But you would get these little bags of rocks, which literally they just made an item like dust and rock shit. Like that was so stupid. Like, as far as item design goes, that was kind of crap. But you get like these little rocks and they're in tiers. And the little pebbles, you can upgrade your Pokemon's EVs in a particular stat from like 0 to 3. And then 4 to 6, you get like the little bigger rocks. And then 7 to 9, you get the bigger rock. And then you got this stone that gets the 10. And that's the highest the EVs can go. And you can put them in like as many, you can have 10 in all the stats if on a Pokemon if you want. There's no limit. There's no 255. And I'm like, honestly, I can get behind that. If I didn't use 20 Pokemon, like my team would have been like all at 10s. And that would have made me feel really strong. And I still would have maybe only scraped out of some wild battle. I liked that a lot. Honestly, I really liked how that was handled. And natures aren't on here, but I'm going to just say like the natures, like they kept natures exactly the same, but the mints were back there. So like I actually spent a really long time I was farming the Alpha Heracross in the first area and the Alpha Scyther. I really wanted a bug Pokemon, and I couldn't get one with a good nature that I wanted, and that was before I could have farmed the mints. So I caught maybe like 20 to 40 Scyther and Heracross trying to get the one I wanted, nature-wise. I couldn't do it. I think I eventually got like a normal-sized Scyther I wanted, and I made a Cleavor. They were cool. They were on my team. And then I got like a Heracross way later. I got lucky. Like right as I got the mints, I was like, oh, I already got. Here's an adamant. It was like a Jolly one or whatever. Eevees and Ivies, perfect. That's my first perfect. I loved how that was handled. I'm so honest. I hope, maybe not the rocks. I kind of hate like the rocks as an item, but something like the rocks, like, should be in the next Pokemon. Honestly, I hate Eevees, and I hated Ivies because you couldn't see them most of the time, and you just made your Pokemon feel inadequate, and the Eevees stress me out. I'm glad they're not there anymore. Okay, let me. There we go. Eevees and Ivies are perfect. First perfect. The terrain. I guess this kind of goes in with maps. The terrain was bad. You know, hold on. Maps. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna say terrain is good. I'm gonna put the maps in bad. I'll say the maps are for the design of the area. The design of areas report that. The terrain was even worse. The terrain I'm going to substitute in for the maps. The terrain was shit. There was a lot of open fucking field of nothing. The Pokemon weren't there. It was awful. It fits bad with the tone. It just got lazier as the game got on. Like the last area of the game was just white snow, white ice, a little bit of ice over there, a little bit of ice over there. There's a hole with some ice in it. Like it's just like, oh, and also the texture's ugly. By the time in that game, you're very aware how bad the game looks. It's just like, oh, it's awful. It's terrible. It's disgusting. So terrain, shiny hunting. Shiny hunting. I'm gonna put that in. I'll put that in fun. I'm gonna put shiny hunting. Shiny hunting is gonna be our first fun. I don't know if we're gonna have any brokens. Is there anything broken? We'll talk about that later. Shiny hunting was pretty fun. I didn't do like any. You know what? I'll say I shiny hunted once and I was successful. So the shiny charms pack. I haven't gotten the shiny charm yet. I think you do get it when you get all the Pokemon, which is cool. The shiny odds increase. I think there were 3 ways to increase the shiny odds other than the shiny charm. There was having a research level 10 of a Pokemon. There was maxing out their research level, like having it all done. Oh, there's 4 actually, because if you count that method as it's just seeing the Pokemon more, which is I guess a common thing in Pokemon, like chaining. I'll count that as 1. Mass outbreaks, which have been in Pokemon since Diamond and Pearl. They increased the shiny odds by a lot, and I got the Togepi in a mouse outbreak. I got 3 shiny Pokemon. I got 3 here. I'll tell you my 3 shiny. Other than there was actually, I'll talk about them in a second. I'll say I have 4 shiny Pokemon, and I will tell you about 3 of them. My first shiny Pokemon, I was running away from on the Cobalt Coast. I was running away from the bunch of Skorupies chasing me and the Alpha Drapion spawning. And out of the corner of my eye, like right above the Drapion's head, I saw the sparkles of a Murkrow. And I'm like, oh my god. That was my first one. I was freaking out. I was like, well, not my first one, but the mystery one was the first one. But like that was the first one I like saw spawn, and I was like, oh. And I like doubled around and I tried throwing a ball at it, and it got me in a battle, and all of the bugs that were chasing me were behind me. So I quickly threw a ball at it, caught it, and then they all attacked me, and I survived, and I just ran as fast. Like I ran away. I was like, I gotta get away with my catch. I already have a shiny Honchkrow in another game, so I was like, okay, sure. Actually, hold on, I'll tell you another part of the story. And then very close after that, no, actually like a day later, I was trying to get a specific Ponyby or a side quest, and I was just running and back and forth between the spawn. And I was like, when I run between places, I fight alpha Pokemon along the way, because I'll just like pick the Pokemon that I think could one-shot it, and I'll do that, and I'll just get the candy and run. And I ran into an Alpha Staravia, and I wasn't looking, and there was a glare in my eye, and I sent my my Cleavor out, and I was like, Cleavor, use Stone Axe. And then I clicked on it, and then I was like looking somewhere else, and then I looked back at it, and as it was cleaving through that Staravia, 20 levels above, super effective attack, I thought to myself, hey, that Staravia's looking kind of brown. And then it faints, and then I see in the little top of the corner, like, defeated 40 Staravia, and the picture of the Staravia is 100%. That was a shiny Alpha Staravia that I just killed, and I'm like, I've never had a shiny Staraptor before. That was rough. That was a rough one for me. Oh. I have not killed a shiny Pokemon in a decade. I haven't killed a shiny Pokemon in a decade. I have not done it that long. That really fucking hurt. It was rough. But then very close after that, right after I got the Combi, I saw a sleeping shiny Zubat. And you guys know how much I love Crobat. That Zubat was my third shiny Zubat in my life. I had one in Gen 5, and then it wouldn't transfer. And then I caught one in Gen 6, and I've had it that long. And they're stuck in there, and now I caught this one. And I love them. I love them a lot. I kind of caught them late in the game. I didn't get to use them a ton. And then, yeah, I caught the shiny Togepi yesterday. I think it was an Alpha Togepi. Or it was either an Alpha or it was just really, really big. I haven't checked it yet, but I've never had a shiny Togepi. So, shiny hunting, fun. It's been fun. Pokemon model scaling. So, here's the thing. The big Pokemon are big, and the tiny Pokemon are small, and it's very cute, and it's very cool. Some of them, you can kind of tell they just used the whatever algorithm they wrote to make them bigger or smaller, and then didn't check. Some of them are kind of awkward. I'll give you some good examples of big and small. Alpha Shellos was a very good size. Shellosses were pretty small, and Alpha Shellos was like the size of a dog, like a small dog. And I'm like, oh, cool. That I couldn't imagine a Shellos getting any bigger. Like it's a slug, you know. What's a good example? Tentacruel. Alpha Tentacruel was a big motherfucker. Like Tentacruels weren't that super huge. This Tentacle made me feel like that one Pokemon episode where I got that fucking big tentacle smash the buildings. Like that was cool. Loved that. Some examples of some bad ones. Alpha Machop, Alpha Shinx. They feel very uncomfortable, and I don't think this is just because that Pokemon is weird to me. Like I like those Pokemon, they're fine. It's just like it kind of hit like they hit the big button on it, and they just let it roll. Like it's like a lot of the Pokemon look good, big. Some of them, like the smaller ones, getting bigger, just feel wrong. And a Machop that's like up to my nipples. That's in height. That's kind of wrong. What Pokemon look bad really big? Any of them look bad, kind of. I thought Alpha Drifblim. Obviously, I haven't seen every Alpha Pokemon, by the way. The first time I saw an Alpha Drifblim, I thought to myself, like, that's kind of extra. I had a Drifblim most of the game. I don't know if I just had, like, a particularly small one. No, because there's a ton of wild Drifblim. They weren't that big. Alpha Drifblim just, no pun intended, blew up like a balloon. Yeah, I lied. It blew up like a balloon. It was so large. I was like, it seems excessive. That's quite unreasonable. I think there were more examples of small Pokemon being big that were problematic than bigger Pokemon being big that were bad. But like some of them, you just kind of felt like maybe not bad. I think overall though, and especially the sizes of the normal size Pokemon, I think we're great. I think we're great. Better than the progression. Sure. I thought the normal sized Gyarados were kind of small. Like when I caught an Alpha Gyarados, and I feel like it should be the size of all the Gyarados, you know? I never saw a normal sized Steelix. I only saw the Alpha ones, and I never bothered evolving a normal Onix. The Alpha Steelix, like I kind of felt like that should be the normal size of the Steelix, maybe. Staraptors felt a little small, but maybe not. I'm just saying there were some excuses, some exceptions. That might have been me, that might have been personal bias, but there were definitely some where, like the small Pokemon being a little too big. Okay, animations. Big thing in Pokemon. So, here we go. So, the animations of the Pokemon were different. A lot of them were better. You know, they stopped reusing the Gen 6 animations that they made, and they were definitely 100% new animations on some of the upscaled model Pokemon. Very happy to see. Very, very happy to see. However, there were a lot of missing aspects of a thing. Imagine if you were like watching a movie and every 30th frame they skipped 5. Kind of like a very stretched out version that's of this game. Of that. That's how this game felt. Because in conjunction with the black cut scenes and other shit like, like that just Game Freak. The Game Freak trademark, if you will. Felt very, very wrong. Very just uncomfortable. For one instance, that this stuck out to me a lot. When Pokemon miss an attack or the other opponent avoids it, nobody moves. One of the Pokemon will like do like a cry animation, but nothing happens. They stand perfectly still. That killed my immersion immediately. I was like, what? You missed the Hydro Pump. You didn't even do the Hydro Pump. I watched you. You didn't do anything. And I get the point is to like not waste your time like watching an animation that does nothing. But when it misses, the length of time that you're waiting, going like, oh, the move didn't happen. And then you have to wait for the text box to go, the Pokemon avoided the attack. And then one of the Pokemon does like a little animation of not moving. That's so close, if not exactly that length of time that if the animation hit and the HP bar goes down, if that's not the same time, it's so close. And I wouldn't give a shit if I watched the Hydro Pump animation play and the Pokemon out of the way, or my Hydro Pump just went fucking to the moon. It just missed completely. Because that's something I will say, because they did. There, you know how I complained a lot about like G-Max Charizard. It's like fire move. It like Charizard's animation brings its neck all the way down, but then the fire starts like above its fucking neck, and it's stupid like that. There were much less of those. The tracking they did for those were so much better. The like Ice Beam, something like Ice Beam, would come out of the right spot of the Pokemon for the most time, and then it would aim either down or up or center, depending on the height or the Y level of the Pokemon. It happened a lot. I think the only time I had a problem with that animation was with Goodra. Goodra's attack animation honestly was kind of like the Charizard, the G-Max Charizard, where Goodra has a shell now. Goodra would like go in its shell and then like jump. And then, well, I can't remember if it did like a jump and landed, but like Goodra would like jump in its shell and then like Ice Beam would come out, whatever. And like the Ice Beam's like not in the hole of the shell, not even coming out of the base of the shell, like the little marker for it's like above the shell entrance and then like not attached to anything. I think that was like the only time I was like, that's kind of shit, like let's go. But they fixed a lot of that. Tracking, like head tracking animations for the Pokemon and the NPCs, a lot better. I only saw How's animation once. Thank fucking goodness. There were facial animations for once. The only problem is they weren't good. So I thought the animations were fine. It's just the presentation of the facial animations very bad, because I think it's just because they're text boxes. So like the text box would finish, and then your character and you would know something would happen, and they would have to like wait for the text box to go away. That was the animation, and like it would play a shitty sound effect, and then you'd be like, wait, what are you doing? What's going on? I don't understand. So like there were more of them. They were just misused. So animations, I'm gonna put in a mix. I'm gonna put it right about here. It was just, honestly, it looks like I hate this game now. Do I hate this game? I think I might find out if I hate this game tonight. Here, I'll say this right now. This is the best Pokemon game that's come out in years. Well, wait. This is the best mainline Pokemon game that came out in years. I would say I had way more fun playing Pokemon New Pokemon Snap than this, but different game. Different kind of game. Okay, what's next? The menus. Kinda eh. There was this one menu I kept scrolling to by accident that had like 3 things. It had like the tips, the settings, and like I should honestly have the game right in front of me, but I don't. I mean, I have it. I don't have it on. Honestly, the menus were kind of. I liked coloring was very nice. The black was good. Should I include the battle menu? The battle menu was nice. The only problem I had with the battle menu was these big black bars, the top and bottom. I didn't hate the black bars. It felt like a ninja fight, you know, like I liked that. But they were just too thick because like I would like okay, so like the bottom bar made no sense. The top bar had two things on it. The top bar would have I think it had your Pokemon? No. What did it have? It had if there were extra Pokemon in the fight. If you like you were fighting two wild Pokemon at once. That showed up there at that time. And there was something else. I can't remember. I think if like your opponent had more Pokemon, like the little balls would show up. Like that still could have been smaller. And that really fucked it. Like, I'm gonna put the menus in the menus were good. It was a little worse than the controls. The menus were good. The lords. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the lords. Lord Pokemon. Lord Pokemon. Okay, so. Where do I want to put this? I thought, you know, I put the lords here, and I was thinking of this one thing I wanted to complain about, but I really should encompass all of them. All of the aspects of the lords. Okay, so the lords were the boss fights of this game. And it was like dodge rolling shit and like doing cool ninja shit. Well, maybe not cool ninja shit. Actually, it was kind of lame ninja shit. It was dodge rolling and then throwing shit and then throwing your Pokemon out. I actually thought they were all going to be terrible because I was accidentally cheesing the Cleavor fight. When I loaded into the Cleavor fight, I was like behind the tree and the Cleavor was on the other side of the tree, and he kept doing his spin attack and running into the tree, which would knock him away, and I could either just throw the things at him to make his health bar go down, or like attack my Pokemon. And then when that was over, I would just like sidestep back to the tree, and he would do the same thing again. And I barely saw him. I barely saw the Cleavor. Aaron my pistol. Fortunately, all the fights weren't like that, but then they kind of got copy and pasted another way. A lot of the fights turned into the Pokemon would do an attack, and the ground would light up where the attack was gonna go, and you would just dodge roll out of that. They were so mixed. Honestly, the lords are going in mixed. I'm not done talking about them. They're better than yeah, right there. I'm not done talking about the lords. They're going in mixed. So, one thing I really want to, okay, I'll say for the most part, the boss fights were definitely a strong mix. And here's a much smaller aspect of this that I want to complain about. The lords that you would ride. And I'm not talking about how they controlled. Am I talking about how they controlled? I mean, I am talking about how they controlled. Actually? What? You know what? They're going in bad. They're going right in between the tutorial and the cutscene. Actually, they're going in bad. They're going in bad. Here's why they're going in bad. Okay, so we're encompassing the boss fights, the rideable Pokemon, and summoning the rideable Pokemon. So, I thought the boss fights, in all together, some were good, some were bad. It was more like some of them, you know how like if you're fighting like a Dark Souls boss, and when you're like when they're fucking you up, you never think to yourself like, this is lame. You think like, oh, that was a cheap attack, or that was too strong. You never think like, oh wow, he really did that, did he? Like their moves just make so much sense, in like conjunction with the game. In this game, a lot of it was like mixed. So like the Pokemon, like the Arcanine would charge at you, and you would be like, okay, it's gonna charge at me, so I'm gonna dodge out of the way. Cool, makes sense. Then the Arcanine would do like a solar flare or something, like this attack that doesn't have a name, but like these fireballs would start summoning on like a fucking Dark Souls mage spell. And you'd be like, okay, I gotta throw shit at him while he's doing it, but why would the Arcanine do this? Why wouldn't he just use Flamethrower or something? Or like he's the rock type too. Why wouldn't he throw rocks at me? He never did that. And like that just felt like the moment, And then like the fireballs would like little circles on the floor, and you'd have to dodge out of the way, and there'd be a fire effect on the floor, and just be like, okay, sure. Guess. I feel like this is not how an Arcanine would try to kill me. A frenzied Arcanine wouldn't do coordinated dances basically as an attack. I can't even, speaking of dances, I can barely remember the Lilligant fight, like at all. That was the second one, right? I can't remember that one at all. Like, I remember Cleavor. Cleavor was funny. I fucked them up. Well, again, I can't remember anything. And the Arcanine fight was the shit. The Electrode was like the dropping Voltorbs. That was interesting, but like, it was still like the same effect. Like, you had a ball fall, Electro Ball falling. You know, it was annoying and lame. And then the Avalugg fight. The Avalugg fight was actually a little interesting because instead of, it was actually, I'm bringing up Dark Souls again. Instead of like you're in an arena with the Pokemon, this Pokemon's in an arena of its own. It's so big you can't like compete with it, and you would have to. It was like dodging projectiles because like it was either that or it crushes you. I kind of wish maybe he like tried to crush me instead of attacking me, but anyway, yeah, mixed bag. Here's the rideable Pokemon, also a mixed bag. Also mixed. So, Weirdeer, very, very good. I liked running really fast. I liked jumping high. The only problem with Weirdeer is some slopes were a little iffy if he can get up, and that was kind of annoying, especially early game. Then you get Ursaluna, which is slower than Weirdeer, thicker than Weirdeer, and all it does is just Dowsing Rod. More annoying, I guess? Like, less you could control it less. It was weird. And then there was never good items to get. Like, it was just like, it was like a mud, the shitty poems. Maybe you'd get iron chunks, maybe. Weird, Ursaluna sucked. Then you get the Sneasler, which you can scale mountains now, which is helpful. It's just, I don't know, yeah, so Sneasler is probably like, it's needed number 2. If I was going to rank them individually, I'm going to go top Weirdeer, Sneasler, Braviary, no, Basculegion, Braviary, Ursaluna. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, Basculegion was good. I don't understand why Basculegion was the only Pokemon I could ride on that I could throw Pokeballs from. I think it's only just because, like, that was the only way to get to water Pokemon, I guess. But, like, I just don't know why every Pokemon, every rideable lord didn't have that mechanic. It just drove me nuts because you had to get off of them, or especially with Braviary, if you're a pull-up, you have to fucking fall down and make sure you don't die fall damage, and Cat will catch the Braviary, have to catch you again, and you're still too high, and you drop down again, and you still take a ton of damage. On top of that, the game looked most ugly when you were on Braviary because it would fucking load properly. They are going fast or slow. The game looked like shit if you were on Braviary. I'm so glad that was at the end. I'm so glad I didn't have to deal with that most of the game. It's so ugly. Okay. Here's like here's my nitpicky complaint about the lords. Why the fuck all of the lords respond to the exact same stupid flute tone? That doesn't make any sense. They're all vastly different Pokemon. You know how in Ocarina of Time you never played the same fucking tune twice because you did that magical shit and it wouldn't fucking make sense if the same song that took you to the fire temple took you to the water temple? Like, of course not. You'd play a different song. This game, there's no mini game. You just play it. You just like hit a button and it happens, which is like good for efficiency. Except I don't know like the order they're in. So like once I got Braviary, I didn't know like actually when I got Sneasler, I didn't know whether to go left or right or Weirdeer or Ursaluna. I don't know how the UI would help me remember that. I just kind of wish it was an order, because okay, so I kind of remember Sneasler. So if you're on Sneasler, like Ursaluna's to your right, Weirdeer's to your left. That doesn't make any sense because if we're going from Weirdeer to the right, and Sneasler's in the middle, but we got a third. And if we go Weirdeer to the left, then that order kind of makes sense. But we're not on Weirdeer in your brain. You're on Sneasler. So that made no sense to me. And then when Braviary's in Basculegion come in, it's just like you can't do Basculegion on land, thankfully, but like when Braviary comes in, I don't fucking know. But why the fuck does it play the same tune over and over and over and over again? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Why would the Weirdeer respond to the same tone as the bear? Or the whatever Sneasler is? Or the fish? That doesn't make any sense. Why would it's like 3 notes, maybe? 3 or 5? I don't know. Why couldn't they just make up 3 or 5 random notes a couple other times? I don't understand. Like, it made no sense. That pissed me off. That was really annoying to me. That was really, 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 really annoying. Wait, hold on. I think I want to skip something. Okay, I want to talk about one of the. I kind of skipped something. I don't know where I would talk about it with. In animations, maybe. The Pokedex would suggest sometimes that Pokemon could leap out of trees. And I know what they mean. Sometimes they meant that like Combee or Cherim would come out of a berry tree when you attacked it. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes like it would say Apom out of a tree. And I never ever saw an Apom come out of a tree. Or Chimchar, never coming out of a tree. And this harps back to the terrain problem where like the Pokemon don't feel like they live there with the tone. One time, and I'm pretty sure it was a bug. You know what? We have bugs. I don't know where the bugs were. This is kind of this might be a weird one to put in here. I'm gonna say bugs and broken. I don't know. One time I ran in the distortion space. I you know how they'll spawn like 3 Pokemon at once. I ran into, I think it was like a Lickitung, a Luxray, and a Magmortar. And the way I angled the battle, the Magmortar kind of spawned in the Luxray, and then the Magmortar freaked the fuck out. It was like jumping all over the place, and I couldn't tell if it was jumping all over the place or it was like actually jumping. At one point, I thought it went into a tree, and it was like hanging from a tree. But then I thought, but it jumped out so fast. And I thought, like, is that a bug? Why would they animate Magmortar doing that? He doesn't exactly have like wrists hang from a tree, and that was the only time I ever saw like a Pokemon like hanging in a tree. Like when you get Sneasler can like climb trees for some fucking reason. No other Pokemon does that. I didn't see any other Pokemon like in a tree. There was no ever a fucking reason to look up in this game because all the Pokemon are ground level, all of them. Okay, I say that, but I'm being hyperbolic because there's like maybe 3 Pokemon that are flying around of any use, but like it's so fucking boring to get. Okay, so it's like the sky battles of this game. You would see like a Togetic or like the Gyarados flying like 1,000 feet above you, like animated at like 5 FPS. And if you got to a high enough spot, you could maybe, after its little cycles over, like throw a feather ball at it. It's just like, it's the weak Pokeball. It might not be worth making 10 and wasting all of them on one Pokemon. And you just couldn't fucking aim that high. And you can't catch them off of Braviary, not that you had that early in the game. Or anything. It was fucking useless. It was just, they were useless Pokemon to catch, and there was no other fucking reason to like look up in a tree or fucking holes or anything. It's just, everything's ground level. It's so fucked. Oh. Man. Okay, moving on. Meta. So, what I mean by the meta is how the Pokemon feel. Kind of. Anyway, here's what I mean. So, I talked about the move pools. Move pools are a little weird. Where'd I put the move pools? Move pools were in mix. The meta, honestly, it confused me in the sense of like, meta might be the wrong word for this, but what I really want to talk about is how Pokemon felt very dangerous in like a way that didn't make sense to an average or a normal Pokemon player. Because in every Pokemon game, if you have a Pokemon that's like 20 levels if you have 20 levels on an opponent, whether they're super effective or not, that Pokemon can barely fucking lay a finger on you. Like if you had a Pokemon that was like a 2-time weakness to you and you were 20 levels higher, I'd expect at most 50 damage on its strongest move. 20 levels higher, fuck you. Normal, like a fucking like two Earth Rings going at it. One's level 60, one's level 40. One used Brick Break on the level 61, and nothing. I would imagine no damage. It felt like every attack that wild Pokemon did more damage to you. And the weird thing is, like, since EVs are changed, and I didn't know the exact math EV change, but like I just noticed, like, immediately you notice like your Pokemon have way more health. Like your Pokemon has 100 HP at level 20, and it's like a Pokemon with normal HP stats normally. You'd be like, oh, that's weird. Like you'd run into like an alpha Pokemon, and you got like 20 levels on it, like it's a fucking Shinx or whatever, and it would use like Thunderbolts, Thundershock on you, and it would just do like almost half your health. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And like a normal fucking Pokemon, it's just you just got like you're like equal level. It would do half your health on a normal attack, and you'd be like, whatever. Wait, fuck. You did like the AI. The AI would like do like agile move and then strong moves, like turn one you. Like, that's cool. That's not what I'm even talking about. I'm just talking about, like, the stats. The stat changes were not explained in any way to a Pokemon fan. Not that they ever are. You always gotta look them up. It's just really weird. And honestly, kind of fun. Like, I want to put it in fun. It was interesting. I almost liked that. I was just sometimes annoyed when, like, I couldn't one-shot a wild Pokemon that I totally should one-shot, and I'm wasting my time because I do 99% of his health, and then he's gonna do like 20 to 30% of my health, and I gotta waste a fucking item on that because if my Pokemon's at 70% health, he's getting one-shot the next normal battle we get into, and that's annoying. But keeps you on your toes, makes me use new items that I'm stockpiling. Honestly not bad. UI. UI. Pretty okay. Pretty good. I really liked how I was able to disable the HUD whenever I wanted. I didn't often because sometimes I needed it, but I'm walking around trying to be scenic, which I ended up doing a lot less unexpectedly. UI was good. I don't have a UI rant. Do I have a UI rant? I'm looking at my notes. Did I talk about the pop-in yet? Or did I talk about the pop-in? Nowhere. A lot of pop-in. A lot of fucking garbage. On top of the garbage textures, there was a lot of pop-in. There would be pop-in in not cut scenes, but like when characters are going back and forth and talking, the camera would cut, and then it would cut back to the character, and like the trees hadn't loaded back in yet, or like the fucking rocks behind them, and you'd just be like, come on, really? You knew when it was gonna happen. Why didn't you load them sooner? Okay, wardens. So this kind of goes in with character development. Do I have like a character? So the wardens. I'm just gonna talk about the wardens. I'm gonna talk about the wardens in the aspect of ancestors and characters, like as their own and their inspiration. Some of them were pretty good. You know what? I'm just gonna say what everyone's thinking. They were like gym leaders. They had a theme and they had one thing about them. Fucking the Cleavor kid. He's a kid with a cowboy. He's a Clay's ancestor. He likes rocks and bugs, and he guards Cleavor. That's his character. That's his fucking character. The fucking one at the end, Sophie. She has a braviary. She's weird. She's a weird kid, and she has the braviary. That's her character. Fuck it, like there's nothing there. There's the one interesting warden. And I say warden, and I mean specifically the wardens. One warden was Ingo. Not Ingo's ancestor. By Ingo and Emmett from the battle conductor guys in Gen 5. Not Ingo's ancestor. Ingo isn't. The only other character in this game that got here the same way you do, and he has amnesia, and is used in the story, and then dropped. Like, the writers don't give a shit. He's used. You talk to him if you want to like battle people for some reason. I have to talk to people. It was so. I'm gonna go on an Ingo rant. Why do we bother using? I'm not saying like why Ingo is like a random character. I'm just saying that that's a really interesting. Like he's hinted at in the beginning of the game because Professor Laventon. I definitely want to talk about Professor Laventon. What a fucking letdown. But Professor Laventon, one of the first things he asks you is, "Do you have a friend?" Because you're dressed weird, and he knows another person is dressed weird because this is not the first person that's fallen out of the sky. Ingo has fallen out of the sky, and he's been a member of the Diamond Clan for a very long time. And I first thought, I was like, oh, is that going to be like a big player in the story? There's another person. Are they like hidden? Do they not talk about it? They're from where I'm from. He has amnesia, and I was like, oh, let's help him figure it out so we can like. I'm not saying he's going to become my sidekick, but like, you know, you might know what's going on. I don't know. You might explain like for something like your character doesn't fucking talk about like the future ever. You get it like once. You get to talk about it like once with Ingo after the Ingo story, and that's like it. You never bring up like, hey, you those Pokeballs you invented, those are used all the time in the future. Congratulations, I'm meeting the inventor of Pokeballs. That's super awesome. We never talk about like, oh, computers. You know, you catch Porygon in this game. You don't go like, hey, this is a computer virus or whatever Porygon is. Like, he's a computer bug, and they go, what's a computer? And you explain. There's none of that. There's none. Your character doesn't do shit. Your character's awful. You know, it's like, I know custom characters is meant like the customization, but like, your character sucks. Do you ever have a character ever in a Pokemon game? No, of course not. Ingo, here was the saddest Ingo line. The saddest Ingo line is you're walking through a dark cave, and he goes, I think I had a partner Pokemon that would be very helpful in this area, but I don't remember them. And I'm like, his Chandelure! He doesn't have his Chandelure, and he misses them, but he doesn't know why. I felt so sad. I was like, poor Ingo. I never gave a shit about Ingo and Emmett in Gen 5. Like, they were the fucking battle dickheads on the train. Like, I barely did that in Gen 5. I didn't give a shit. Yeah, I didn't remember Emmett's name until I looked up Ingo and Emmett. It was like, oh my god, like this is immediately one of the most engaging characters. And he was like towards the end of the game. And then once you do his thing, he was like the warden of Electrode or something. No, he wasn't. He was the warden of Ollie. Was the gender neutral bitch was Electrode. What the fuck did Ingo do? Sneasler? Might have been Sneasler. I don't remember. I think it was Sneasler. Immediately after the Electro thing is resolved, he was like, he remembers that Pokemon battles are a thing, like in the future, and then you confirm that for everyone. People were like, dude, I don't know, Cameron. Is that something from your film? And you're like, yeah, I remember that. And it's like, you don't have amnesia. You can tell people about the future. Like, hey, it isn't said in the game what region you're from. I mean, you look like the Diamond. You look like Lucas and Dawn in the game, but I don't know if you are. And another weird thing is like your shirt you're wearing is from Kalos, like the Kalos customization. So we don't exactly know where you're from, but like you have a phone. I can't imagine you're from Diamond. We don't know what timeline you're from even. You have a phone. The Diamond and Pearl characters don't have phones. They have Pokédex. And not the Kalos people either. They don't have phones. Pokemon gave you a phone in the trading card game one. I don't. You have Pokemon. You have Pokemon to get. I guess you're from Galar, right? Galar's the only game you have phones in. So fucking poor ass Ingo. He doesn't try to like. You're like, you don't have amnesia. It's never said that you had amnesia. So when Ingo, it's like, you know, he looks old. His clothes are tattered. He has like remnants of what he remembers, and he has mannerisms that he doesn't understand. He doesn't even remember what trains are. So he's doing like, he says like all aboard, and he's like, why do I say that? What the all aboard what? And I just feel so bad for him. And they drop it, and that's the most interesting character in this fucking game. That's or the warden specifically. They're bad. They're bad. They're worse than the cutscenes. The characters fucking. I mean, the design wise, they're honestly spot on, but they're just bad. Bad character. They're fucking awful. Character customization. So anyway, yeah. Oh, and just I was just talking. I went on an Ingo rant. This is where we're at right now. This is where we're at with the tier list of review parts. Character customization. There was lots customized. The only problem was that the menus were shit. But that's the menu's problem. So they were good. I'll put it at the bottom of good. They were better than the controls. Yeah. They're good. They're good. Any custom character, you like. I mean, there's not like you got one body type. You get the skin colors they've been doing since Gen 6. It's not crazy, but like the outfits are pretty good. What I liked specifically, and which is something I wish they'd been doing since Kalos when character customization was a thing, is that the weather, the climate style of the areas that you progress through the story are very drastic, and the clothes you can buy reflect that. They're pretty. You get pretty normal like kimonos in the first couple areas, but then you go to the beach and you unlock the shorts, and then you get to a colder area and you unlock like the jackets, and it's like awesome. But those are kind of the only two themed things, and else you can get like a suit that didn't make any sense. That was a little weird. But that is customization. Okay, Pokemon design. So when I first saw the designs, when they got leaked, I was like, most of these are pretty fucking bad. Most of them are fucking awful. And I still kind of hold to that. I would say I misjudged a lot of them. A lot of them worked really well in 3D, and not the JPEG I saw. Like Ursaluna was one of the Pokemon I saw as a JPEG. I'm like, oh, that looks like shit. Ursaluna in game looks like a big fucking grizzly bear. Like that's fine. That's fine. It also looked like garbage from the leaks. Everyone thought Typhlosion looked bad, but Typhlosion that immediately got put to rest. That was fine. I really ended up I didn't appreciate the Voltorb line when they put out those shitty little videos for them. Like, cool, like Voltorb in the past, he looked like an apricot because that's what the Pokeballs look like. And Electrode resembles like that's pretty cool. I like that. The new Sneasel line and Sneasler, I don't get. They're just weird. It's just weird. Some of them are just weird. Arcanine, people don't like the Arcanine. I think people just don't like the color scheme of the Arcanine. I think it's okay. I guess. I don't know. It's a mixed bag. But honestly, though, the worst one is I don't even know what they're called, but like there's a new forms of Dialga and Palkia. After I saw Palkia was shit. After I saw Palkia in the cutscene, you don't. By the way, you don't actually get to see both of them. Actually, I think you might be able to. I don't actually know yet. Okay, the new Palkia, it looked okay in the cutscene. I haven't seen it in battle. The Dialga, I still think looks like garbage. The Palkia was much more tolerable. It's not good, but it was much more tolerable. And I haven't seen the new. Actually, I just realized I didn't see the new Landorus yet. Not the new Landorus, the new Genie Pokemon yet. I haven't even seen all the designs in game yet. Huh. Some of them are shit, some of them. Honestly, I think some of them. I think the majority of them are great. Like a lot of the Sword and Shield shit Pokemon bothered me, and I would put it in mix. I think they ended up being pretty good. I'll put them. Put it good. There we go. Okay. Character development, awful. I think I'm gonna put in broken. Should I even bother having this broken? Like perfect broken. What's broken? I think it was broken. Whatever. It was just size of the Pokedex. Did I? Oh no, character development. We're on character development. There was none. There was. The two leaders of the clan had a little bit. I think here's why I put this in here. Here's what it really fucking. Here's what I really want to talk about. So obviously, it's a Pokemon game. Nobody develops any character traits of any kind, really. Fucking your commander gets a sympathy at one point. Silene does an emotion at one point. Silene, okay. I want to talk about one character, and then I want that to antithesize all of the characters. So one example, a couple seconds. Professor Lavington. He has that really dumb hat. I have to pull up the hat. I'm gonna pull up the hat. I want everyone to look at this fucking asshole and this stupid, this fucking jerk right here. Everything he's wearing kind of fits them. I mean, he's got like a lab coat that's kind of weird. And he's got like the suit, whatever. That hat. No one's wearing a hat like that. It's very straight. Like no one. You got like a beret. You got like a cap. You got like. I mean, I literally just like no one has a hat like that, except Professor Lavington, and it's covering his whole head, his hair specifically. And in this game, what has indicated who's an ancestor of who more than their hair? This guy without the thick eyebrows and the fucking mustache doesn't look like Professor Rowan. Silene, without the, I mean, they got the stern face, without the colored hair, doesn't look like Cyrus at all. Is there any more characters I can easily scroll to? I searched Lavington, obviously. Yeah, look at that. Like, it's all in the hair, really. Like, their eye shapes are different. Their eyebrows are slanted the same way, but like, you know, hair, eyebrows, hair. And here we have this character who has this strange hat that's covering his entire head. And you think to yourself, or I thought to myself, there's going to be some kind of reveal where he takes off his hat. And we're going to learn who's he the ancestor for. No, there wasn't. There was no address. No one addressed the hat. No one brought it up. It was completely pointless. Not even pointless. It was just a weird character decision. the hat. He just has that hat. He's not. I genuinely. I wasn't even like lowering my expectation. I genuinely thought at one point his hat was gonna come off, and his hair was gonna look like yours, and you were gonna realize he was your ancestor. I genuinely thought that was gonna fucking happen. It didn't. It fucking didn't. It didn't fucking happen. Like, no hat. Can I search that? Okay, porn, please. It's Professor Layton. Didn't happen. No one ever addressed the fucking hat. And that perfectly antithesis. They just made fucking NPCs and put them in the game and made them look like characters and then did nothing. They did fucking nothing. Nothing. This game didn't have to take place in the past or alternate universe or whatever. This could have been a completely different Pokemon game that just took place in the past from a region we've never been to. Like, Silene, other than their sternness, has no relation to Cyrus. I mean, no relation. I mean, they're completely different people, obviously. But there was no, like, oh, I get where it comes from kind of bit. It's like, they're stern. At one point, you will kind of learn they're afraid of bug Pokemon. And they end up liking the main character eventually enough. Like, they do a thing that kind of puts their neck out. But, like, they're so under... They sit behind that desk 99% of the fucking game and don't do jack shit. All of the cool, interesting characters are there, and they don't do fucking anything. Fucking... I'll show you my favorite character. Don't get porn. Okay, cool. Captain Zissou. She's the head of the security corps. I fucking love this bitch. I thought her design was I thought her mannerisms were really cute. I thought her energy was great. I don't know if she's like Flannery's ancestor, maybe, but I loved her as her character. And she does nothing. I don't say nothing of value. She's like a fucking NPC that you talk to get the fucking tutor. She's the tutor, move tutor. That's it. She like... Here's actually I'm going to sum it up. Here's how I'm going to sum it up and then I'll drop it. NPCs' function were decided first, and their form were decided after, and it was much less thought was put into that. Not saying the character designs were good, but like writing-wise, purpose-wise, story-wise, nothing. They put nothing in. There's just no fucking point. Captain Zissou didn't have to be cute. It could have been a box. It could have been a square. They could have been anything, but she had to be a cute girl, a cute tall woman who does nothing for herself or anybody or you. You click A at her, and that's it. Really, you can fight her too, but like, could have been anyone. Didn't have to be her, and that just sucks. It just really fucking sucks because there are a lot of cool characters like that, like Ingo too. Just do shit. And I thought another thing that was tipping me off about the hair thing about Laventon, because a lot of the characters, like I closed the tab, but like Silene, like I Silene in the Commander, like I mentioned, like their faces kind of resemble the other person, like their hair gives it away. But there was one character I noticed who didn't look like the person they were clearly referenced to, but they had the exact same hairstyle, and that was the guy that you talked to plant the crop. So I saw a lot when I was talking to the Mints. He was just like a dude, like an old guy, not an old guy, but like a grown man. He had Gardenia's exact fucking haircut. And I'm like, that's an example of someone who, like, if they were wearing a fucking hat over their hair, I wouldn't know that they're the ancestor of Gardenia. But the hair gives it away. Laventon doesn't take his fucking hat off. He doesn't. He just has this weird hat on the entire game, and that just sums it up. Where did I put the character development? Awful. You know, broken. I'm putting in broken. If broken, just just hold on. I'm not broken. Just irredeemable. Can I spell that right? Nope. Irredeemable. So, no, wait. Where's the E? Where'd the E go? Here. That's an irredeemable spot. Bugs. I don't know where bugs go. There were graphical bugs, and there were some other bugs. Bugs was not thought out well. Character development irredeemably bad. Okay, I got that out of my system. I was holding on to that one for a while. Holy shit! You be able to play the game tonight? Like, maybe I'll play a little bit. I don't know. We got some more side shit. I didn't expect to be talking about this game for almost 2 hours, really. I'm glad I have a lot to say about it. Not looking good. I still like this. I hope other things pop up here, because I don't want to say this. This fan fiction JD I'm gonna be Karen hates everything. It was like, I didn't like this game. It was just like a lot of bad parts to make a game. Like, spoiler alert, rate the game. I'm probably gonna put it in fun. I probably am, but like, this is making me think otherwise. Okay, the size of the Pokedex. So, here's a hot take about Dexit. Here's some bad Pokemon fans will say. They'll say fans who complained about Dexit want every Pokemon in every game because Game Freak made all the Pokemon, and they just can't do that. 2 points to that. 1, they could. They really fucking could. They made them all. They're responsible. 2, that's not the problem. The problem was that you literally couldn't put them in the game. In a mainline Pokemon game, you couldn't put your fucking Crobat in the game because it wasn't coded in the game until they sold it to you. Fucker. In this game, it's a very similar situation, minus the selling you part. Not every Pokemon's in this game, and you can't trade from other games into this game. I'm sorry, I did that in front of the mic. You can't. But miraculously, it's thematically appropriate. I know, that's crazy, right? How could they do that? How could they do such a thing? How could they make a thematically appropriate smaller Pokedex? They did, and I wasn't mad that the fucking Maractus wasn't in the game. It just wouldn't have been appropriate. Am I a little maybe some kind of upset that like? No, I don't know. It's like the game is so completely fucking different. Like, I'm not mad that fucking Maractus isn't in new Pokemon Snap. I'm not mad that Maractus isn't in fucking Pokemon Shuffle or whatever, if it is or not or whatever. I couldn't think of another Pokemon game. I wasn't mad that Maractus didn't launch in Pokemon Go, you know? Like, it just wasn't meant to be there, which I understand in that sense. The problem with, like, Sword and Shield is that there was no thematic or technical reason I couldn't put Maractus. Well, Maractus did end up being in that game. I couldn't put Crobat in my base game. There's no reason I couldn't. Hell withheld it. This game, it makes sense. There's a lot of Pokemon in this game. Just because the terrains were so shit, they really were able to put them everywhere. I'm gonna say the size of Pokedex was good. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay, there. Another one in that one. Another one. We got a lot in the good. We got the most stuff in the good right now. New Pokemon. The new Pokemon. Let's look at the new Pokemon. Let's do that real quick. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Siri. So we got some weird deer. Awesome. You guys can't see. Hold on. Oops. Do no. So, 1 second. I'm sorry. 7. Okay, fine. We'll just do this real quick. Real quickly. We got Weirdeer. Great. Cleavor. Awesome. Ursaluna. Better in game. Basculins. I will say my one problem with a lot of the new Pokemon is a lot of them they resorted to being like the Lord's Pokemon, and you didn't see them in the wild. Like, I never saw wild these 4 Pokemon, including both Basculins, I thought were all really fucking cool. But you didn't see wild ones, and you only saw them if you evolved the Pokemon that came from it, or in the story, and they were the best ones. They were really cool, and they just weren't around. They were very good. Sneasler, Overquill. This looks like crap. It looks even worse in person. All those quills come out and they don't retract. It's just like a sea, like an ocean mine, but it's alive and it's uncomfortable to watch. Anamoris, that was the fucking name. I literally haven't seen this in game yet. I have no idea where the fuck this thing is. Is there like I guess those are the new Pokemon. I guess there weren't that many new Pokemon. I kind of want to count Hisui forms. I kind of want to count the new forms as. What about the I'm sorry, those are the forms, the origin form and the white Basculin form. Okay, that's not what I meant. I meant, so we form Pokemon. Okay, yeah, like, I count these as new Pokemon. Like, they're not literally new Pokemon, but, like, you kind of count them, right? Like, the Arcanine, Color, whatever, great. I thought the starters were all really good. The Quillfish was fine. Sneasel, what the fuck? Samurott, cool. I really liked the Lilligant. I had a Lilligant on my team. I never would have thought I'd ever say that. The Zoroarks and the Zoroark, I give a little bit. I gave them shit when they first came out because I thought they were like kind of just being kind of like, you know, when they do the new forms of Pokemon, it's like, let's just make this one Pokemon white. But like they're very stringy. Like there's a lot going on with these guys when they're in the game. I'll give them a little bit more credit. Braviary is cool. I didn't get to spend much time with Braviary. Sliggoo and Goodra, very cool. Avalugg, same problem with the Lords. I didn't really get to see them that much. And that's it. Real quick, yeah, so that's them. I think we're gonna put them. I mean, do I have any stronger words to say beyond just like gesturing at them? I mean, you know what? What did I what did I really say? Like I just did like Overquill and Sneasler. I was like, is that it? That's it. I think they were great. Yeah, I'll put them right here. If that was it, that was it. They're pretty good. They're very, very good. Side quest. I'm so happy they put actual side quests in a Pokemon game. When Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, not a lot of people played, or a lot of people I talked. They had these little events that look not even side quests, just like events that would happen that were so close to side quests. I thought, like, why aren't these side quests? People like point to a post game, like a Pokemon post, like Oris. And they have like the Z, whatever the fuck, the Z mission, whatever. No, that was on a moon. What the Zygarde, the Rayquaza mission, whatever the fuck that was. Can't remember what it was called. That's the equivalent of like a kind of beefy side mission, and that's like the post game. These side quests, like they're shorter. Obviously, they're shorter than that. Like they're so equivalent to what I would want in a Pokemon game. I can talk. I feel like I can talk. I haven't done every side quest, but I feel like I can talk about a lot of them. There's this one where this woman wants to see the Pokedex entry for Octillery because she doesn't understand how Remoraid could evolve from Octillery because they don't look alike. And that's the thing. Pokemon people are like, what the fuck? There's another one. There's another classic Pokemon thing where this guy, the Sudowoodo, won't move, and this guy thinks they should throw water on the plant because he'll enjoy it, and the Sudowoodo freaks out because it's a fucking rock type. That's fucking amazing. There's this one I just did where this wasn't even good. Like design-wise, this is shit. There was this old woman has a Chimecho on her fucking porch that she doesn't want there because it's loud. And you just have to go to other points in the village and be like, go there. And Chimecho's like, I don't want to be here. And you do it like 3 times until the woman gives in. She's like, oh, I actually kind of like the Chimecho, which is stupid and a waste of my fucking time. And honestly, a shit fucking side quest. But it's just enjoyable to see like a woman like a Chimecho sitting on your porch. Like to me, sounds super fucking peaceful. This woman's afraid. She has a wild Pokemon on her fucking porch, and the psychic Pokemon. She's fucking freaked out, reasonably. But she like, you know, she learns that the Chimecho like really likes her spot, and it's like doesn't want to fight, it doesn't want to do anything, it just kind of wants to vibe. Like that's really fucking dynamic to see. It's like literally that character had more fucking character development than fucking Zissou. That old woman who's Ida, or whatever the fuck her name was, had more character development than fucking Zissou. And I love Zissou, and she's cool and actually designed well. And oh, I do want to fucking say quickly, character design wise, there was a lot less of that Pokemon Game Freak shit. Like 90% of the characters, there's actually only like 20 character models, and 20 to 30 character models, and they're just copy and pasted everywhere. The only copy and pasted characters were like some of the security guards and like some of the village people, but like most of them had like a different clothes at least, which thank fucking God, that was like the bare minimum, and they finally fucking did that. The side quests, I obviously haven't done all of them, and I think some of them could be some of them are shit, but I think some of the shit ones like I think are like dynamic, and they're like story, like they're story driven, not the name story, but they're it's good. They're fun. What's another one that I really like? One I actually really fucking hated, but I still think was like interesting, was this one guy. He was interested in if combies had different tasting honeys depending on where they did it. So he had to catch 3 different combies from 3 different parts of the map, and he would taste them. The only part I hated about that mission was he wouldn't tell you all at once where he went Combies. You had to catch a Combi, and you think you're done with the mission, and he goes, bring me another one from this place. And then you did that like 2 more times, and it's like, you could have just, I could have just brought you all the Combies, you know? Fucking asshole. I really like the ones where people like are requesting help from Pokemon and will ask you to let them have that Pokemon, and you go catch them Pokemon, and that Pokemon's just around in the village. They're just hanging out. Some of them don't move, some of them do. This wasn't that specific example, and really early on, there's this mission where you have to like catch these Bidoofs, like you don't have to literally catch them. You gotta like get them out of the village, and secure in the core that builds shit. It's like, actually, we can use these Bidoofs. And the Bidoofs are just around the village, helping you build. They're building structures. Their structures, hearing, and the Bidoofs are helping. That's fucking dynamic. That's cool. That's fuck. Do I want to put it in perfect? No, I mean, that's a very large window for them. Where did I put? Wait, where did I put the side? Oh, I didn't touch them in the movie yet. They're the top of great. They're not quite perfect, but that's only because there's so many of them, and some of them are just designed poorly. They're so good. Here's the actually, you know, I ran into here's the worst. Here's the worst side quest, and I don't have much good to say about it. But here's the worst side, and at least has some humor at the end of it. There's this character named Zeke, and he has a sister in the security court. She keeps getting lost in the map, so he keeps giving you like a little piece of her clothing to smell, so you can use the Ursaluna to find her. And she keeps getting fucking lost and super fucking annoying. And then the worst part is when you find her in the field, the quest isn't done, so you go back to the village and talk to Zeke, and he's like in a building, so it's a little annoying. And then Zeke says the quest done. And then you walk out and you walk in and she's lost again. But I liked how it ended, like the quest line ended, where Zeke thinks his sister's lost again, and he just runs out to find her, and then she like comes downstairs and goes, hey, where's my brother? Like, there was some humor to it at the end. Like, I mean, it was really annoying and really stupid, but at least it ended mildly humorous. And there was another quest that ended like that too. Actually, you know what? Actually, here, I'll say this. The dumbest quests, at least, were funny. Another quick example was you had to do this back and forth long quest line with the head, like the shop guy, and the head of the people. I can't remember the heads of the core, the material core. The people. There's like an old guy who like handles all the shit being made. And they're mad at each other. But you learn that the old guy is only mad at the shop guy because the shop guy married his daughter, and he thinks he stole her away from her. And the dude's like, I just married your daughter, you fucker. And the daughter's like mad at him for being mad at her husband. Like, you learn that at the end, and it's like, oh, the jackass. Even the bad quests, like, even if they're like form bad, like, it's funny. Okay, moving on. Oh, okay. Legendary Pokemon. How do I want to say this? I haven't run into all the legendary Pokemon yet. I actually don't even know how many of them are available. Hold up. I actually don't know. Like, I know like I know like what Sinnoh Pokemon there are. The Manaphy, you can actually use it? Okay, all the oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is kind of annoying. These two guys are locked behind save data, which is fucking annoying, and I don't have Diamond and Pearl save data, which means I can't get the Darkrai, and I like Darkrai way more than Shaman, obviously. Yeah, so you get like the legendaries. I think that's a very good pool. Like, there's already a lot of Gen 4 legendaries. They got the genies in there. Actually, wait, is it? Never mind. It's just all the Gen 4 legendaries and the genies. Did I want to say anything other than just catching them? I mean, like, they didn't do that recent thing where they just throw every legendary at the end of the game that you can get. Obviously, that wouldn't make any sense here. I haven't done like a quest for them yet, but I think they're pretty good. So I mean, like, I'm gonna put them in bottom. Put them right here. I don't have much to say. I mean, they're there. We get them. Whatever. Okay, battles. Okay, we got some big ones coming up. We're not done with this. I don't think we're gonna play the game tonight. I think we've just been reviewing it all night. Maybe I'll play it a little bit just because I want to show you one of the mods that I downloaded it on. I'll show you the mod and then we'll call it tonight probably. There's a few things I want to do tonight still. Okay, the battles. So, I mentioned previously how it really annoyed me that when Pokemon miss or avoid moves, they just don't fucking move. The battles were actually so close to being perfect. And I don't mean like not like not like so close, like the side quests were so close, but there were a few kilometers. Like there was a lot added, and they just Game Freak. It was just like Game Freak shit. Like them not moving when they missed, like that's Game Freak shit right there. Like I was so glad that, like when we first saw the battles in trailers, you know, your trainer's right there, and you're like, oh cool, you can move around. You have to not get hit by Pokemon moves during the battle. You can't just stand in front of them or you'll fucking die. Like, awesome, cool. Agile and strong moves are an amazing little flavor to the fucking like battle formula. Like some people, I don't know. I've already saw a mod that like gets rid of them, but like I think it's more interesting. I think it's cool. It's thematically appropriate as well. It's very nice. I like how your Pokemon just have all its moves, and you can't use them all at once, but you can equip them very easily. Love that. And I didn't bring up the fact that you have to manually evolve your Pokemon. Here, let me just bring up there a few things that weren't included in the battles that would have made it perfect. And they all kind of pertain to the fact that this game is more open, and they just kind of nerfed it with the battles a little bit. So the battles are very quick and snappy. There's no fucking victory screen. There's no fucking... It's very quick. Everything's very quick. I love that. I got some problems. So you don't get experience until the battle is over, which I like for the speed of it, because that means, you know, if there's like, you don't have to fucking wait and get because when you Pokemon level up, they all show up on the side, and the experience share is actually, you can't turn it off, it's just fucked up, but it's not broken. It's just the only fucking problem people really, I mean, the only problems people have is it's broken or you don't have an option. We don't have the option, but it's not fucking broken. You actually need it. Fucking fine. But it like shows, it like gives them all their experience, and then it'll be like, you can learn a new move, or you can evolve, or you mastered a move, which if it was happening in the middle of a battle would like break the flow, and I'm glad that they didn't do that. But you could still done that. You could have still had them do that. My point, and the problem is that like if your Pokemon, like if you're fighting 4 Pokemon at once, and your Pokemon beats 3 of them and not gets knocked out by the 4th, they get no experience for beating all 3 of those Pokemon. They get nothing, and it's like really fucking annoying. Because like if you're doing like the re-battles with like other trainers, you could wipe someone's team, but then they get like one shot by their last Pokemon and they get nothing. They get no experience. It's fucking awful. Another thing, animation-wise, the Pokemon are still just standing. They kind of move around, like they adjust a little bit sometimes, like if the models are too close to each other. But I want like if 2 Luxrays are facing off, you think they're just like facing each other down, like straight on, going like they're not, like they should be circling each other. They should be swatting at each other. Like they don't have to be doing, obviously they're not doing damage to each other when they're not choosing your thing, but like they're just motionless. Well, they're not literally, I mean they're idle, but like they're just standing there. Like it would be like the mechanic of not getting hit by moves during the fight would be much more interesting, because when you get into the fight and when you like load in, you're normally at a safe distance already. Like you're not going to get hit by an attack. You don't have to actually adjust. Under very small circumstances, you actually have to adjust where you are. But it would be much more dynamic if like the Luxray are circling each other, and you have to like circle along with them, because if you just stand still, you're getting hit by a stray discharge or something, and that would be so much cooler instead of them just standing there. And on top of that, some of the animations, they're better. A lot of the animations are so much better. Some of them are lazy. Some of them not late. Okay, they're not lazy like the tail whip from Sword and Shield lazy. They're lazy like you'll do the quick attack, and the actual animation for quick attack is your Pokemon model will move forward a little bit, disappear, reappear fuzzily in front of that Pokemon, and then they'll do like a hit thing, and the other Pokemon will go back, and then your Pokemon teleports back where it was, which I described it very poorly. It looks okay, but like functionally, it's very stupid. Functionally, it's very, very dumb. There's a lot of animations like that, and sometimes like Crunch. Sometimes the Pokemon doesn't run up to do Crunch. Like it'll just do the thing, and the effect fangs will just appear on the other Pokemon. Shit like that. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, so close. And the one final thing that I thought was going to be in this game, but the opposite happened. is there's no mid-battle evolutions. This would have been the perfect game. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this yet. Would this not have been the perfect game for Pokemon to evolve mid-fight? How fucking awesome. I feel like it was made for it. It wasn't. They didn't do that. Because the experience doesn't show up to the end. You have to manually evolve your Pokemon, which I don't particularly hate. But it would have been so much fucking cooler. If my Golbat like knocked out a fucking Pokemon and there's another one behind it. And it evolved mid-fucking fight. How fucking... By the way, I do want to say the animation for evolution is very fucking cool. It is very, very cool in this game. It's actually my new favorite animation, evolution animation. But it would be a lot cooler that animation like played from a third-person perspective during a fight. That would have been amazing. That would have been undeniably fantastic. And it's not in it. And that's why the battles are going at the bottom of great and not perfect. It just, you know what? Actually, top of good. Top of good, actually. Top of good. It's just, it was so close, dude. It was so fucking close. Just whiffed it. I don't know why. This could have been the game where Pokemon evolved mid-fight. We've been asking for that forever, right? Like, when was there not a Pokemon game where we haven't requested that? This is so close. Honestly, I was really disappointed that this wasn't the game that happened. Like, everyone's been imagining it for years, and it didn't happen again. It looked like it could have, but it didn't. Okay, moving on. The music. I have some problems with the music, but they're not like passionate problems. So the soundtrack is good, but the music is inconsistent. So the battle theme, by the way, Pokemon Crystal Clear did this perfectly. Pokemon Crystal Clear slowly unlock different battle themes and you can customize for trainer and wild Pokemon battles. And they're all remixes, and that's perfect. A Pokemon game literally needs that option or I'm going to fucking die. That I'm passionate about. Because like when you fight like 3 Pokemon really quickly alone, the intro to like the Pokemon fight theme, it just like goes bam, 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 and you're just like, can it be something else? Can it change? Can it fucking change? The only actually, here was some Respute from that. In spoiler, I guess, when you know in Diamond and Pearl when like the sky is the thing, the weird thing that happens in this game too. During that time, there's like this ominous theme that plays, and it actually trumps all of the battle sounds. So like you can be in a battle and there's no battle music. It's just like the whatever. And I was like, oh, like it's ominous and scary, and it's like, oh, I don't have to listen to the fucking fight theme. And I'm playing with the sound on because shiny Pokemon appear more audio than visual sometimes. So I was always playing with the sound on, and I was just so sick of the battle theme. And when you heard here's the big problem. I would have to like check the specifics of this, but it felt like most of the game was played under this like generic field theme. That's what I'm gonna call it. Like it was just like when you're out and about. But I noticed in some areas you went, it would be like a remix to like Eterna Forest or like Heart Home City would start playing it. I think at one point, like some very, very good remixes. But like the areas wouldn't be very big, and you know you're moving a lot, so you don't. There's no point in like unless you have to like mentally choose to linger to listen to the song. Actually, I should play the fucking. I'm gonna play the sound. Hold on. Okay. Like. Here we go. Wait, is there like a list at the bottom? Here we go. Is this the wild Pokemon thing? This is the trainer fight. You encounter wild Pokemon. Wait, that's not it. Not it at all. Battle versus normal wild Pokemon. It's hearing this repeatedly. I mean, it's cool, it's fine, but that's what all the wild battle Pokemon themes are. They're fine the first 50 times, but then you just over and over and over and over. And that's a problem with JRPGs. There's so many over, so much. But then like, hold up. I hope. This Heartwood. This shit. This shit's really fucking good. And I think it only plays in like one fucking area. I mean, most Pokemon songs do, but like that's like the thing. Like you don't like go to a town, do all the things you want to do in a town, and like leave. And like Pokemon Engine's like slow, so like you're there for like a couple minutes and you can hear the whole track. You'll wander into like near a lake, and like the lake theme might start playing. You really like, but then you have to fight this alpha Pokemon. You have to fight this wild Pokemon, and you got to like fight your way in and out. Like that's why you're here to fight the Pokemon. That's why you're playing the game. And then the battle theme plays, and that's dialing over that. And then you're either there for a long time and you're mainly listening to the battle theme, or you just leave and it's gone. So the music's good. The execution's just so fucking poor. And I don't really know how would you even fix that? I mean, you could expand the radius of those songs, but then that might kill the aesthetic, I guess. It's just like Breath of the Wild has like the slow piano soundtrack. Actually, here's exactly what you could have done. You could have played like a playlist. So you could have like even sectioned them off like different points of the game. So like there's a ton of fucking I muted it by accident. There's a ton of fucking music in this game. There's 3 hours of fucking music. And if we cut that and maybe cut a third of that from like small shit like sound effects and flute plays for like 20 seconds. You can't see the timestamps. I'm sorry. You got like 2 hours. You could like cycle that through like the story. Like this song could play like mid-game, and then there's like the in-game themes. Like that could have been it. But it's just like it's just the way they did it. It was good. I'll put it in between size of Pokedex and legendary Pokemon. Okay, so look, we got a lot more in the good now. We got a lot more in the good. We got this screw some more. I like the screw. I swear, I like the screw. The Pokedex? I'm not gonna say something good about the Pokedex. Okay, so like Pokedex, as far as progression goes, is very, very good. I already said I like the progression of the game a lot. The problem with the Pokedex, and it's the problem with every single fucking Pokedex, is that they're not actually helpful. So in this game, it was slightly better. It's ever so slight. So my problem with the Pokedex is that the internet's always better than the Pokedex. Always. 100%. I don't know why the Pokedex and the internet cannot be of equal value. I don't understand why. So the research levels for this game for the Pokemon, they would sometimes give you hints of things I wanted to know. Like moves the Pokemon can use, or their habits. Like we would know, that like Apoms jump out of trees. That's something I'd like to know. And that Apoms know double hits. And that they're weak to fighting type. So it says use fighting type moves on Apom. Knock them out with fighting type. That's good info. That's like the teaser information I would like from like this style of Pokedex. You're making it, obviously. But when you're done, you get like there's no new information. You get like the description when you like do the research levels. All you get from like doing that, I mean, other than like the money and the progression of the game, is that like what their favorite foods are. And then you get like the Pokedex description of them. And the Pokedex descriptions have never been helpful for fucking jack shit. All I want to know, when I look at Apom and Pokedex, I want to be like, I mean, it doesn't need to be like Cerebi, and like it's like literally fucking everything. Let me pull up a Cerebi Pokedex entry. Go. Like it doesn't need to be fucking. I'm just giving examples. I don't need their Japanese names and shit. I don't need their gender ratio. I don't need this row. Actually, this row is helpful for this game specifically, but I don't need their capture rate. I don't need their base egg stats. I don't need their experience growth. I don't need their base happiness. You don't even need their EVs in this game. I want to know their abilities. I want to know their typing. Sometimes it tells me obviously. The game also does tell you where they're from. I want to know what they learn at what level. I want to know that. I want to know what technical machines are not in this game. I want to know what tutor moves they have. I want to know their fucking base stats. How the fuck is like if a kid doesn't have the internet and he looks at a fucking he looks at a Malmar. Can you get the Malmar, please? He looks at a Malmar. How strong are you supposed to know how Malmar looks like? I think Malamar is a pretty good Pokemon. It's got a very good ability the game doesn't tell you about until you have one already, and you can visually see it. Malamar has almost 500 base stat. That's not bad. But I can't look at Malamar and know that it's a physical attack. I can't look at Malamar and know that its defenses are pretty even, so like it's well-rounded. I look at Malamar, I go, I don't know what the fuck base stat it has. How the fuck am I supposed to know? Barbarkle's a good thing. What, like, it's probably defensive, maybe. But, like, I don't know that Barbarkle has shit HP. I don't know that its attack is better than its special attack. I don't know. Why is it HP 42 and its speed is higher than that? It doesn't have legs. How am I supposed to know that? How would I know? And the Pokedex just doesn't fucking tell you this. It doesn't tell you. And it's why? Why won't you tell me this information? I want to know. I don't even know what items it's holding. It doesn't tell me that shit. It's better. It's going at going right here. Going right here. Just give me a Pokedex that's useful, please. I'm asking really honestly. I'm asking really honestly. Holy crap. Oh my god. Just give me a good Pokedex for once. I love the aesthetic. By the way, I do really like the aesthetic of the Legends Arceus Pokedex. It's just if I've raised fucking Geodude from level 1 to 50, I should be able to visually see all the moves it could learn, future reference, or you know, I learned it. That's the information I learned, but I'm writing everything down. Why didn't I write that down? Okay, I'm done talking about that. That's a game freak. That's what I call a game freak moment, as I've been alluding to. The black screen's game freak moment. The no evolution during battle as a game freak moment. Any other game designer would be like, this is something that should be in the game. A game freak's just like, I don't know, we've been doing this the same way this long, might as well keep it. Game freak moment. Crafting. I liked crafting. I slowly learned towards the end of the game that every item that you can craft is pretty useful. Eventually you get to like craft like all of the battle items, but like some items you get to craft that like are old abilities. Like I got an item that's just power shift. Like the move, power shift, power swap. There's like focus, there's like focus energy plus. There's this one, there's like victory dance. Victory dance is Ligant's new move that it raises its attack and defense and also makes its next attack 50% stronger. So it's like a helping hand. There's like items that are helping hands now. Like there's a lot of good craftingable items, and there's a lot of field items I wasn't like really using in the beginning because I didn't have the stuff. But towards the end, I was like, oh, these are useful. There's always enough resources. Like I don't even know if that's a good or a bad thing. It's just like I always had stuff to craft. If I didn't have the stuff to craft, they were very easily purchasable towards as you progress the game or when they came in. I liked how when you were in the village or used the crafting bench, you didn't have to have the items literally in your inventory to do that. You can just craft them from your storage. The only time that didn't work out is when you were trading in the dirt, the gravel or whatever, the Zisu, you needed to have it in there, which is kind of annoying, but one exception. I liked how you can just do that. I liked how you craft stuff that just had a value, like comet shards, and you just sell them. That was good. This is probably the only video game with a crafting system that like wood is only used in one thing. Like that's you get wood. Wood's like kind of rare because all the trees are not there. Wood's kind of rare. You use 3 wood to craft a Pokédoll, and the Pokédoll doesn't do the thing the Pokédoll does in Pokemon games where you get like a free flea. You just sell it. It's just worth money. And wood's used for nothing else. Nothing. I've been talking for a long time. My tongue hurts. Wood is just wood. Like the base of everything is useless. That was kind of weird. I thought crafting was pretty good. I mean, it was like not interesting in any way. It wasn't exciting. Like, is crafting ever exciting? Cooking in Breath of the Wild was like a little dynamic. Crafting is just you get the item and you live your life. Crafting was good. Crafting, I'm not gonna call it fun. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna put battles in fun. Battles in fun. And those were fucking hella fun. What am I talking about? Battles in fun, crafting and good. Crafting goes right there. Okay, last three, or last two, and we already know where this one's going. And then yeah, I think I'm gonna show you. I'll show you the mod and then I'll end stream. We won't do anything crazy. Okay, the sound effects. I only put the sound effects on this list because they were so overused. So what I mean by the sound effects, not like obviously I should encompass like the moves and the audio design of the game. What stuck out to me way more was the overuse of sound effects in dialogue. So I should have put something on here, but the story's right here. But what I mean is, I'll talk about it in the story, I guess, but in conjunction with the story, this game is in desperate need of fucking voice acting because the story was so fucking boring and the characters were visually interesting, but they had nothing interesting to say. And just so many text boxes of these characters, just nothing is coming out of their mouth. But these sound effects are playing. Way too much. There's like dings, there's rings, there's exclamation. Like it's almost as if they wanted to do that, like sound like voice acting, but they couldn't, and that's what they went with. And it was so obnoxious. It was so fucking. It was awful. The answers. Oh, whoa! I did not mean to expect element. What did I just present? You know, honestly, like yeah, right there. Honestly, it was so bad. It was the sound effects were distracting. Like no, it did not help me. Did not help exchange information any better. It was a boon, if anything. Howdy, partners. Oh, how are we all doing? We doing okay? I think we just get lower numbers now. I'm not used to it. We dropped off. We fell off on Twitch. I have to fucking change that. I have to post more YouTube shorts. And this should post more YouTube shorts. That's not gotten me a single new viewer. I gotta figure out how to get back up on Twitch. Okay. Last thing. Story. Irredeemably bad. Awful. Story was terrible. It was. I was telling you while when the game leaked that the story was really bad, but I had hoped that it would turn into something else. Don't know why I thought that. Don't know why I would have any expectation. The game tells you what the story is in the first minute and a half. It's to seek out all Pokemon. This game, although it made it fun, it did not make it interesting. It's not interesting at all. And the game credits end with seek out all Pokemon. And it's like, it was kind of a sword and shield problem where it's like there's elements of a story and it's just dropped in you all. I guess it's not even a sword and shield problem. That was the problem in Diamond and Pearl too. Really, like in most Pokemon games. Okay, it was more sword and shield was very abrupt. This was actually more traditional. It was a traditional, a Game Freak moment, if you will, where it's like the frenzied Pokemon are out and about. You don't know why. You also don't know why you fell out of the fucking sky. Or you know why. You don't know the purpose. And you never learn the purpose. You never learn any, like back to Lavender. You don't, and Ingo, you don't. The player asks questions that the game does not bother acknowledging. That's the problem. I think that's the problem. The game has decided your mission is to seek out all Pokemon. And you might ask why, and you might ask how. And the game does not give a shit. It does not care. If you see something or someone interesting, the game will just shake the keys at you. So like, hey, look, they're here. And then it doesn't care. It doesn't give a shit. It's like a neglectful parent. It's honestly just fucking. It's just abrupt and annoying, and shit just happens because it happens. And that's just Pokemon in a nutshell. I don't know how else to put it, but it's exactly like every Pokemon game. It's funny. It's so Game Freak. When they do something new, they can't help but do the same thing over again. You know, like in like the Sun and Moon, like, hey, we no more gym battles, but it's exactly like everything. You know how like Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and it's like functionally, and it's just so different from the original Final Fantasy. It's like a completely different thing almost, and it's like not the same shit. I mean, it's RPG bullshit, but it's like different RPG bullshit. Pokemon has just been the Pokemon shit, and it's can kind of honestly. I'll put it. Rate the game. It's fun. Fun game. Fun game. It's a fun game. I'm literally not going to deny that I had a good time playing it. But here's my fucking verdict: is that Pokemon will not ever be functionally different until Game Freak drops it. Until someone else with talents and heart and drive can do something else. And I don't mean like do something else like, oh, you can make a main series Pokemon. It's like do something else. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, although it has a lot of problems, it was done by new people in the company, and they had a lot more freedom. They had to make a traditional Pokemon game, but they tried to go away from it. Fucking, and that they went in good directions, not everything best, but good direction. Then the other company L, whatever the UL, whatever the people who made the Diamond Pearl remakes, they went in the opposite direction. They didn't give a fucking shit. They were told to make a Diamond and Pearl remake, and they fucking did, and it was terrible. They didn't give a shit. And that game came out, and it's fucking dead. Owen bought it, and he has not even bothered playing it. He was like, I want a shiny. And he's like, I can't imagine owning a Pokemon game for as long as it's been out, and haven't fucking played it. And that's all, like, people fucking, no one gives a fucking shit. The Diamond and Pearl remake. Diamond and Pearl remakes were my most anticipated Pokemon games of my entire fucking life. And it was dropped like a corpse in front of me. I don't know how to express that more than I just hate that shit. And it's all honestly Game Freak's fault. They're just they baked in these horrible design decisions into Pokemon that even new people can't help but avoid. When anyone with like a fresh fucking mind, I'm not even like jerking myself off. I'm just saying any fucking studio with like fresh ideas look at Pokemon. Like, there's no reason it needs to be like this. There's no reason. There's a lot to work with. Nothing. Oh, that was a lot of everything. I'm gonna...
Hi there, this is Ade Tokumba McCormack. I play Isaac on Castlevania. I think you should watch Swift Street on twitch.tv. Cameron and Mark are two of the funniest human beings I've come across. I want to see a future with them in it.